बाबू आजाद। आजाद। हेलो। हेलो। आजाद। हेलो। హలో 315 ఎవరమ్మా? 18B8. 315.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఏమా బాగా వినపడుతుందా అంతా?
ఎస్ సార్, వినపడుతుంది సార్.
తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు ఈ అసైన్మెంట్ అందరూ కంప్లీట్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు అందరూ?
ఎస్ సార్, చేస్తున్నారు సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే.
సార్.
అది అందరికి చెప్పండి, కంప్లీట్ చేయమని. మీరు వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇచ్చేద్దరు కానీ ఫస్ట్ అసైన్మెంట్, సెకండ్ అసైన్మెంట్.
ఎస్ సార్.
నువ్వేంటి ల్యాప్టాప్ నుంచి మాట్లాడుతున్నావా, సెల్ ఫోనా?
సెల్ ఫోనే సార్.
నీ మాట బాగా వినపడుతుంది. అందరూ కొంతమంది, అందరూ బాగా వినపడుతుంది కదా?
ఎస్ సార్, వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే. మనం ఫిఫ్త్ యూనిట్లో ఉన్నాము.
ఎస్ సార్.
వాళ్ళ రేపట్లో కండెన్సేషన్ అయిపోతుంది. ఇంకా సిక్స్త్ యూనిట్ ఉంటుంది ఒకటి, రేడియేషన్.
ఎస్ సార్.
నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం, లేదంటే ఎగ్జామ్స్ వస్తే చూద్దాం, లేదంటే ఇప్పటి వరకు మేము చెప్పిన సరిపోద్దులే. అది బాగా చదువుకోండి ఇవి.
ఎస్ సార్.
అంటే ఇంకా ఉంటే చెప్తాం, అది కూడా కంప్లీట్ చేస్తాను, సిక్స్త్ యూనిట్ కూడా.
ఎస్ సార్.
సరే ఓకేనమ్మా.
ఓకే.
Hello, all of you join. Hello, all of you join. All of you join. So far, only 22 students joined. Okay. So far we have completed boiling heat transfer. In the case of boiling heat transfer, generally the surface temperature of any device or a plate, horizontal plate or vertical plate, wire will be higher than that of the saturation temperature of the liquid because you are boiling the liquid. So liquid to vapor in that boiling. So condensation heat transfer, just the reverse of boiling heat transfer. Condensation heat transfer, just reverse of the boiling heat transfer. Condensation process is the reverse of boiling process. Here condensation sets in whenever saturation vapor comes in contact with the surface whose temperature is lower than the saturation temperature of the vapor corresponding to the vapor pressure. That's why the condensation is just reverse of the boiling process. In the boiling, liquid boils and the liquid state becomes vapor state. But whereas in the condensation, vapor condenses into liquid. So condensation just reverse of the boiling process. So here surface temperature is lower than the saturation temperature of the vapor. That's why heat transfer from saturation temperature to surface temperature. Here the temperature difference is T saturation minus T surface. T saturation minus T surface. So here on any vertical plate or any vertical cylinder or any boiler in any place or any condenser, not boiler, any condenser, as the vapor condenses on the surface, latent heat of vapor is liberated. because heat is taken out from the vapor and the vapor becomes liquid. So vapor cool down and vapor becomes liquid. So here heat then there is a flow of heat from the vapor to the surface. That's why temperature difference T saturation, that is of the vapor minus T surface temperature, and vapor condenses into liquid. Then the liquid condensate may get somewhat subcooled by contact with the cold surface, because inside the condenser, inside the tube, inside the condenser, there is cooling water will be there. If you want to condense hot steam inside the tube or in the shell, so we have to pass through the cooling medium, that may be cold water or any other cold liquid. That's why this condensed vapor, after become liquid condensate, may get somewhat subcooled, further subcooled by contact with the cold surface, and that may eventually cause more, so more vapor to condensate, more vapor to condensate on the exposed surface or upon the previously formed condensate. That's why in order to condensate any vapor, here heat transfer from saturation temperature to surface temperature. Initially, the vapor becomes liquid and condensate to liquid further cool down because it is contact with the cold surface. And once that liquid vapor becomes liquid, further vapor coming onto the liquid layer and further condensing of vapor to the liquid takes place. So this is general concept of condensation. So condensation is a process of heat transfer from the vapor to the surface, condensate surface. The condensation sets in whenever saturation vapor comes in contact with the surface, whose temperature, that is surface temperature, is here lower than the saturation temperature of the vapor, or saturation temperature corresponding to the vapor pressure. That is just reverse. Condensation heat transfer is just reverse of the boiling heat transfer. In the case of boiling heat transfer, what will happen? Water boils, that is liquid boils, and change of state from the liquid to vapor or steam. So in the boiling, liquid boils to vapor. That is otherwise water boiling, whenever boiling takes place, at the boiling point, water becomes steam. That's why liquid form to vapor form or liquid form to steam form. So, but what is condensation? Condensation, if you take the example of power plants, so in the steam boiling boiler, the steam, that is in the boiler, steam produces or steam generates. That is from liquid to liquid water to that is steam. That is boiling. Once the steam produces in the boiler, the steam in the vapor form expands in the turbine, and we are getting the work done from the turbine. That means steam turbine or any other turbine. So if we take the steam, so with the expansion of the steam in the turbine, so we are getting power. After expansion of the steam in the turbine, finally to recover the that heat content of the steam, again after expansion, high pressure steam becomes low pressure steam in the turbine, and then but at the outlet of the turbine, the steam will be in vapor condition only. Again, that vapor steam is to be condensed into liquid water in the condenser. In the condenser, the vapor, the wall, tube wall will be there, the vertical wall. Okay, vertical tube in the condenser, horizontal tube or vertical tube. So tube surface, and outside the tube, there is a steam in vapor condition. Inside the tube, there is cooling water, for example, in the condenser, cooling water. So heat transfer from the hot steam to the cold water. But initially, so from vapor, steam becomes liquid water. Okay, na? So that uh, because your surface temperature is less than the saturation temperature of the vapor. Heat transfer from vapor to surface. That is T saturation minus Ts. Temperature difference is T saturation minus T yes surface temperature. So here steam condenses into water. Just that's one example. Like that, any vapor, if you take any chemical vapors, so that is to be condensed into liquid chemicals. So condensation just reverse of the condensation just reverse condensation heat transfer is just reverse of the boiling heat transfer. In the condensation process, vapor condenses into liquid. Here surface temperature lower than the saturation temperature. So heat transfer from vapor to surface to temperature T saturation at T surface. So film wise condensation. In the condensation, there are two types of condensations. So this is very, very important. You may come across what is film wise condensation, what is drop wise condensation. There are two types of condensation, film wise condensation and drop wise condensation. What is film wise condensation? What is drop wise condensation? If the condensate is formed film by film, a layer by layer, just like laminates on the surface, that is called film wise condensation. Instead of that, if the condensation vapor becomes liquid in the during that process, during the condensation, if the droplets are formed, that type of condensation is known as drop-wise condensation. So what is film-wise condensation, drop-wise condensation? Standard 2 marks question. Differentiate between film-wise and drop-wise condensation. So standard question, 7 marks or sometimes 2 marks. What is film-wise condensation? What is drop-wise condensation? Okay, now what is film-wise condensation? First we'll see. So if the condensate tends to wet the surface and thereby forms a liquid film, then the condensation process is known as film-wise condensation. Here, whenever vapor condenses into the liquid, they are layer by layer will be formed on the surface of the plate or surface of the device or on the tube, vertical tube or horizontal tube. So if the condensate forms a liquid film, just like a liquid film, that kind of condensation process is known as film-wise condensation. In this, heat from the vapor to the cooling media is transferred through the film of the condensate formed on the surface. So here, heat transfer from hot vapors to cooling medium inside the condenser. That's why heat from the vapor to the cooling medium is transferred through the film of the condensate that is formed on the surface. So here liquid after condensation flows down the cooling surface under the action of gravity, just like film, and the layer continuously grows. The layer continuously grows in thickness because of the newly condensing vapors. Initially, one layer of condensate will be formed on the surface. Next, second time, again vapor condenses into second layer. That's why the layer continuously grows in thickness, layer by layer. The thickness of the layers increases. Thickness of the layer continuously grows because of newly condensing vapors. Initially, some vapor condenses into some liquid film. After that, next second type of immediate to the vicinity of the film, again some vapors will be there. Again, those vapors will be condensed, and again the vapors becomes film. Second, that again that is formed on the first film. That's why the thickness of the film layer continuously increases because of the newly condensing vapors. The continuous film offers, if more film is more thickness of the film is there, obviously more resistance will be offered by the film thickness. That's why the continuous film offers thermal resistance and checks further transfer of heat between vapor and the surface. If more liquid is formed and that in layer by layer, as the thickness of the film increases, so the resistance will be increased. Thermal resistance increases. As the thermal resistance increases, heat transfer from the vapor to the surface decreases. So up to certain thickness of the film formation, okay, heat transfer. So cooling takes place or condensate formed, and the condensation heat transfer takes place. But further formation of liquid layer avoids further heat transfer. That's why as the thickness of the film layer increases, heat transfer rate decreases. The heat is transferred from the vapor to the condensate formed on the surface by convection and further transferred from the condensate film to the cooling surface by the conduction. So if you take for example here, initially this is initially from this vapor to here the liquid film condensate will be formed. So from vapor to here condensate formed, heat transfer from convection heat transfer. From the liquid film to the this liquid cooling surface, that is liquid just like a material, just like a steel or aluminum thickness. As the thickness of the liquid film increases, then through that thickness of the liquid film, heat transfer is through conduction mode only. Conduction mode. Initially, from vapor to this condensate liquid, convection heat transfer, and further heat transfer within the liquid layer or film layer is due to conduction heat transfer. That's why the heat is transferred from the vapor to the condensate formed on surface by initially convection mode and further transferred from the condensate film to the cooling surface by the conduction mode. That's why initially convection heat transfer and further heat transfer through conduction. That's about film-wise condensation. Next, drop-wise condensation. So in the drop-wise condensation, vapor condenses into small liquid droplets of various sizes. So here, in the film-wise, complete film is formed throughout the surface length. But here, in the case drop-wise, vapor condenses into small liquid droplets, sometimes of various sizes, small, and next size increases like that. Different size of droplets are formed in the drop-wise condensation. The drops may fall down the condensate surface in the random fashion. That's why sometimes so drops after attaching on the surface of the condensate device, again drops are formed, and the drops may sometimes stick to the surface and sometimes go down in the downward direction. The drops form in cracks and pits on the surface. So if the drops are formed, that hits the surface. That's why pittings will be formed on the surface. With the help of drops, and the drops after some time grow in size, and after that break away from the surface, knock off another droplets, and eventually run off the surface. So initially drops are formed, hitting the surface and grow in size, and again break away from the that is withdraw from the surface or break away from the surface, and that droplet may hit the other droplet, and finally it collapses and even finally run off the surface. That may be a go away from the surface of the cooling surface without forming a film. under the influence, without forming a film, under the influence of gravity. Because of gravity effect, the droplets initially touches the surface and heat transfer takes place from the surface to the cooling water, and after that the droplet may go down because of gravity or under the influence of gravity. So this type of analysis or condensation is known as drop-wise condensation. Here, so vapor condenses into small droplets of liquid and fall down the surface in a random fashion. So this type of condensation is known as drop-wise condensation. In the drop-wise condensation, heat transfer rates are very high when compared with the film-wise condensation, 750 kilowatts per meter square. That's why it's better to use drop-wise condensation, but maintaining of drop-wise condensation is very difficult. That's why although drop-wise condensation will be preferred or would be preferred to film-wise condensation. So that when compared to film-wise condensation, so drop-wise condensation is better with respect to heat transfer rates, because heat transfer rates are higher with drop-wise condensation. But it is extremely difficult to achieve drop-wise condensation. But it is extremely difficult to maintain or achieve drop-wise condensation. That's why, so while designing the condensation equipment, generally they will consider film-wise condensation concept only. Film-wise condensation concept. For this reason, because extremely difficult to maintain or achieve this drop-wise condensation, the condensing equipment in use is designed on the basis of film-wise condensation. On the basis of film-wise condensation. That's why, so what is film-wise condensation, what is drop-wise condensation? So the difference. So that's about what is film-wise condensation, drop-wise condensation, and what is the difference between film-wise condensation and drop-wise condensation. Next, so after what is film-wise, what is drop-wise? So if you consider vertical plate, vertical direction, x direction, horizontal here, y direction, x direction. It is in the along the x direction length of the plate, vertical plate. Here x is equal to 0, here x is equal to L. Consider a plate, a cooling surface, just like a condenser tube. Inside the cooling water, outside hot to steam, outside hot to steam, here hot to steam. That's why laminar film condensation or a vertical plate. This is initially developed by Nusselt. So Nusselt theory of condensation. Sometimes in your exam, you may ask one question, what is Nusselt's analysis on a vertical plate? What are the Nusselt's assumptions? What is the Nusselt theory of condensation? So initially he had developed, the concept has been developed by Nusselt. That's why this is the Nusselt theory of condensation. For that, you have to consider laminar film condensation on a vertical plate. So analysis of laminar film condensation on a vertical plate. Here, outside this this is boundary layer formed on the vertical plate. The length of the vertical plate, L is the length of the vertical plate. This is a cold surface. TS, surface temperature of this vertical plate. Here vapor, saturation vapor. So T saturation. So Nusselt theory of condensation. For this, you consider a vertical plate, and vapor is condensing on this vertical plate. Here the vapor, this is condensate film. The boundary layer is formed. So Ts surface temperature, T saturation temperature vapor. So this is a what line only. So T saturation temperature is higher than that of the T surface. That's why heat transfer from T saturation to, that is temperature difference, T saturation minus T surface. So temperature profile is horizontal line. This is inclined line, the linear line only. Temperature profile of the within the boundary, this is boundary layer formed. So condensate film is formed. This is boundary layer. Delta is the boundary layer thickness. Delta is the boundary layer thickness at any given location x from the leading edge of the plate. So at any given location x, so delta is the boundary layer thickness. Now within the boundary layer, consider a fluid element A. Consider a fluid element A of size in the x direction dx, in the y direction dy, which is at a distance y in the y direction. Consider a fluid element A of dimensions dx and dy, that is area dx into dy, and width b, volume dx into dy into b, width of the fluid element b, and this fluid element, and velocity profile. Velocity initially this is here, the velocity here, velocity of the vapor outside the boundary layer, velocity of the u is equal to u free stream, the velocity of the fluid, or that is velocity of the vapor. So velocity decreases, so, and parabolic in nature, and on the surface the velocity of the vapor may be less or zero. Here velocity is become velocity of the vapor. This is saturated vapor. This is a velocity profile. Consider a fluid element inside the boundary layer. Fluid element A. Fluid element A. This is the condensate film. For this, now we consider a fluid element A. Here, there are two forces here, force balance on this fluid element. One is shear stress acting in the x direction, negative x direction. One is other one is acting in the opposite direction, shear stress at the left face. Mu du by dy, dynamic viscosity into variation of velocity in the y direction. That's why shear stress. So shear stress or shear force, how do you calculate shear stress? That is mu for unit area, for area. So mu du by dy, variation of velocity in the y direction. So into area. Here in the y direction dy into that b into dx, width of the width. So here, if left face area dx into b perpendicular to the this paper or screen, width of the fluid element b. That's why area dx into b, left surface area b into dx. That's why shear force is equal to shear stress into area, mu du by dy into b dx. Similarly, this is the shear force. What is the shear force on the right face? Mu du by dy plus, that is shear stress. So this becomes mu into d square u by dy square into dy for a distance of dy. That is the shear stress into b dx. The area is same into b dx. The shear force. One is acting in one direction, other one acting opposite direction. Shear force like this, shear force acting in along the y direction. That's why, so one force acting in one direction, other force acting so the opposite direction. Other one force, shear force. Other force are gravity forces. So vapor moving, generally vapor moving in upward direction, whereas after formation of liquid may go downward direction. So rho v, density of the vapor into volume of the vapor b dx into dy, volume. So area dx into dy into width, you get the volume. B into dx into dy, volume of the fluid element. And rho v is the density of the vapor. G is the accident due to gravity. W, weight of the vapor acting in opposite upward direction. W to mass into G, mg. That's why mass, how do you calculate density into volume? Rho V into volume B into dx into dy into G, you got the weight force of the vapor acting in the upward direction. Similarly, downward force, that is weight force of the liquid acting in the downward direction, because liquid is formed here, condensate is formed. Whenever the condensate is formed, so condensate, because of the weight that is going downward direction, because of gravity, it is moving in the downward direction. So that's why the liquid weight, just like density into volume into acceleration due to gravity. W is equal to mg, the mass optical density into volume. Rho of the liquid, rho of the liquid into volume, B into dx into dy, where B is the width of the fluid element, dx one dimension, dy is another dimension. So dx in the x direction, dy in the y direction. B is the width, the volume, B into dx into dy. So density into volume, look at the mass. Weight, W is equal to mg, mass into acceleration due to gravity. So that is rho L into B into dx into dy into G. That is liquid going downward direction. And here, this is the energy balance. This is the force balance and heat energy. Because of convection, delta dq, heat transfer through HA delta T. Convective transfer coefficients, area and delta temperature difference. And whenever the condensate is formed, dq, one more equation, that is formed in, like this, hfg into dm. What is dm? Mass of the liquid condensate formed into hfg, latent heat of condensation. For unit mass, hfg. For total mass of dm condensed, the heat transfer rate is, so hfg into dm. That's the heat balance. And mass balance, that is the next, through the film, and heat transfer is through conduction. That's why heat transfer dq is equal to, conduction heat transfer dq is equal to, from the Fourier's law, it can Ka delta T, K into thermal conductivity of the liquid formed, or thermal conductivity of the liquid form into area into delta T, temperature difference, divided by thickness of the liquid form. That delta is thickness of the liquid form, delta is thickness of this liquid element. So, and mass, m is the mass formed on the top surface. What is the mass formed at the bottom surface of this element A, small element A? If m is the mass formed at this top surface, what is the mass formed at the bottom surface? Let dm is a small amount of mass formed. So for an height of this dx in the x direction. That's why mass at the bottom of the element, small element, that is considered here, small element of liquid that is considered within the boundary layer, that is small a. So m is the on the top surface. What is the mass leaving from the element, from the bottom surface? M plus dm, where dm is a small mass of the liquid element. Like that. So this has been initially developed by Nusselt. That's why this is Nusselt theory of condensation. So Nusselt's theory of condensation on a vertical plate. So Nusselt's analysis of film condensation, so makes the following simplifying assumptions. So he has sometimes in the university exam is asking 7 marks question. What are the Nusselt's assumptions while analyzing film condensation on a vertical plate? First assumption, the film of the liquid formed flows under the action of gravity. What is the film that is formed in this Nusselt theory? That is flows in the downward direction under the action of the gravity. The condensate flow is laminar. Flow is in laminar form. In laminar, and the fluid properties are constant. Here fluid properties, rho L, density of the liquid, is constant. Here also rho L is same. Here also rho L. Here also rho L. So we are assuming that there are no changes in the properties of the fluid element. Okay? The temperature inside the film ETS. Here outside the film T saturation. Inside the film TS. Here TS. here Ts, here Ts. So temperature, we have assumed like that. The temperature inside the film is Ts. And the temperature at the liquid vapor interface, here, this is liquid, here vapor. The temperature at the liquid vapor interface, here, this is liquid, this is vapor. The temperature at the liquid vapor interface, T saturation. The temperature at the liquid vapor interface is equal to saturation temperature, that is T saturation. That is at the given pressure, at the prevailing pressure or given pressure. That is, depends upon the pressure of the vapor. T saturation depends upon the pressure of the vapor. At a given pressure, 1 T saturation. If the pressure increases, T saturation may increase. If pressure decreases, T saturation may decrease. That's why that this T saturation depends upon the pressure of the vapor. Pressure of the vapor. And here viscous shear and gravitational force are assumed to act on the fluid. That is viscous shear force, viscous shear, because viscosity, dynamic viscosity, mu. What is mu? Dynamic viscosity. Viscous shear force is acting, and also gravity forces, gravity force of vapor, gravity force of liquid. What are the two forces here? Shear force and gravity force. The here two forces, one is viscous shear force and gravitational forces are assumed to act on the fluid element. And at y is equal to delta, because here at y is equal to delta, here what is the velocity of the vapor here? Velocity of the vapor, u free stream. U is equal to u free stream. That is at a given pressure, that is at a given condition, that is constant. That's why, so differential of dou u by dou y at y is equal to delta is equal to 0, because u is equal to u free stream at y is equal to delta. That's why u free stream assume it is constant. That's why dou u by dou y at y is equal to delta. Differentiation of constant is 0. That's why dou u by dou y at y is equal to delta is equal to 0. The heat transfer across the condensate layer is by pure conduction. Here from the vapor to liquid, after formation of condensate film, initially from vapor to liquid, that heat transfer is through convection heat transfer. Once the liquid layer is formed or condenser layer is formed, within the condenser layer, the heat transfer is due to conduction only. Heat transfer is due to conduction only. That's why heat transfer across the condensate layer is by pure conduction. And the temperature distribution is linear. Temperature distribution, it is linear curve only. Just the curve, linear line only. Linear line only. This line, it is a linear line. The temperature distribution from T saturation to T surface. The temperature distribution from T saturation to T surface is linear. So temperature distribution is linear. That are the assumptions. These are the 6 assumptions that are made while analyzing the laminar film condensation on a vertical plate. Very, very important analysis in the condensation. Even though it's slightly difficult, but if you practice, it's very easy. So here, what is rho L? Density of the liquid film. L for liquid. Rho L, density of the liquid film. Rho V, density of the vapor. Vapor. Here vapor. Once vapor and here vapor becomes liquid. The mixture of vapor and liquid. Here complete liquid film. That's why rho L, density of the liquid. Rho V, density of the vapor. Rho V, density of the vapor. HFG, latent heat of condensation. Whenever the vapor condenses in liquid, heat is liberated from the vapor. Whenever heat is liberated, then only vapor becomes liquid. You are removing the latent heat of condensation from the vapor. Then only vapor becomes liquid. Then only vapor becomes liquid. That's why HFG, latent heat of condensation. So K, here, within the liquid film. So K, thermal conductivity of the liquid film. K is the thermal conductivity of liquid film. Mu, dynamic viscosity of the liquid film. Absolute viscosity or dynamic viscosity of the liquid film. Ts, what is Ts? Surface temperature of the cooling medium or surface temperature of this plate, vertical plate. Ts, surface temperature of the plate. T saturation, T, capital T, SAT saturation. Saturation temperature of vapor at the prevailing pressure. Okay, na? Now, velocity distribution, how the velocity is varying, du by dy, in this, within this condensate liquid film, condensate layer. So, velocity distribution, how do you find out? The equation for velocity distribution. U as a function of the distance y from the wall surface. So du by dy. So velocity varies along the y direction. That's why velocity varies along the y direction, du by dy. That's why velocity distribution equation, u as a function of distance y from the wall surface. Let us consider equilibrium between the gravity force and viscous forces on an elementary volume B into dx into dy. Volume of the element, small element, that A considered. What is the volume? Dx into dy into B of the liquid film. So gravitational force on the element. So here rho L G into B dx dy acting in the downward direction, whereas rho V into G into B and dx and dy acting in the upward direction. So net gravitational force. So gravitational force acting on the element. How do you calculate? So rho L into G into B into dx and dy minus rho V into G into B into dx into dy. So vapor weight force to be deducted from the liquid force, because this is acting in the upward direction, whereas this is acting in downward direction. Net gravitational force on the element, liquid element. So this minus this. That is equation number 1. And viscous shear force on the element. So, for example, this is acting in the upward direction, this is acting in the downward direction. So net viscous force on the element, mu du by dy into b dx minus mu into du by dy plus mu into d square u by d square u by dy square into dy into b into dx. That is the equation number 2. So force balance. So gravitational force, what is going downward, and what is the net force moving in the upward direction, shear force moving in the upward direction. So this minus this one, this is moving in the upward direction, whereas net gravitational force acting in the downward direction. So downward direction force is equal to upward direction force. That's why that is your gravitational force acting in the downward direction, shear force acting in the upward direction. That's why by equating 1 and 2, rho into G into B into dx dy plus that is equal to minus rho v G B dx into dy is equal to mu du by dy into B into dx minus mu du by dy plus mu d square u by dy square dy multiplied with the B into dx. So if you simplify this one, rho L into G into B into dx dy plus mu du by dy plus mu d square u by dy square into dy into b dx is equal to rho v G into B into dx dy only dx dy plus mu into du by dy into b dx. So mu du by dy into b dx, mu du dy mu into du by dy into b dx get cancelled, and from this mu d square u by dy square into dy into b dx is equal to rho v minus rho L into G into B into dx dy only, dx into dy only. So here b dx b dy b dx into dy b dx into dy get cancelled. From this d square u by dy square d square u by dy square is equal to rho v minus rho L into G divided by mu. Finally, d square u by dy square is equal to minus, if you reverse this one, rho L minus rho V into G divided by mu. So you have to find out u from this relation. So you have to integrate two times integration. By integration, first integration, du by dy is equal to minus rho L minus rho V into G into y divided by mu. With respect to y, you are integrating. That's why into y plus C1, constant of integration. So second integration, integrating again, we have u is equal to minus rho L minus rho V into G by mu into y square by 2 integration of y square by 2 plus C1y, integration of C1 with respect to y, C1y plus C2. So you have to find out C1 and C2. The relevant boundary conditions at y is equal to 0 here. So at y is equal to 0, delta is equal to 0. One boundary condition. Relevant boundary condition. At y is equal to 0. So velocity is equal to 0 first. Your velocity is equal to 0. Then the c here, if you substitute here at y is equal to 0, c at y is equal to 0, then here y is equal to 0, y is equal to c2, u is equal to 0, e is equal to 0. Substitute these values in this equation. Ct is equal to 0. Yet again at y is equal to delta, du by dy is equal to 0. Already told. At y is equal to delta, du by dy is equal to 0. That's why first you have to differentiate u. So u value, that is minus rho L minus rho V into G divided by mu into y square by 2 plus C1y. So du by dy from this minus rho L minus rho V into G divided by mu, and after differentiation 2y by 2, the 2 get cancelled y. So at y is equal to delta. Substitute y is equal to delta. Then this becomes du by dy becomes, that is equal to G, that is minus rho L minus rho V into G divided by mu into delta plus C1. But that is equal to 0 at y is equal to du by dy is equal to 0. From this C1 value, rho L minus rho V into G into delta divided by mu. Substitute the values of C1 and C2 here. So substitute the value of C1 in this, then you will get the equation for velocity distribution. Okay. So this is the velocity equation. If you C1, you substitute C1 value in this, you will get in the velocity distribution equation. Okay, na? Okay, that's all for today. So remaining we'll continue in the next class. Okay. Any doubt? So I'm closing. I'm closing the class.